Welcome to this session of Champion Office Hours featuring placing warranty parts orders. My name is Robin Chaffin. I am Business Development Manager on the Champion team. I've been with Champion a couple of years, but before that time, I actually spent about 6 years on the Source One parts side. So hopefully I can use this session to answer any questions that you may have, clarify some procedures and processes that you go through to successfully place warranty parts orders. Just a couple things before we get started. Please feel free to interrupt me and ask questions. There's no need to wait until the end, although I will open it up for questions at the end. But if you have questions, you could put them in the chat. You're welcome to unmute yourself. Go ahead and, ask away. I am recording this session, which I will send to you once it's available. And with that, let's get started. So I am in Solution Navigator. And the first thing I want to share is that it's very important that you are in Solution Navigator under your account. It does make a difference for the things that are sent to you after you place your order. If you're in under somebody else, you won't receive emails back. You won't get the information like you would if you were using your own account. So first thing is let's get the part in the cart. Okay. There's three different ways you can do it. And if there's more, by all means, it's basically all the same at the end anyway. So the first way is let's go and find the part. Okay. I have a serial number up here, W2F 3694302. I have it in the main search bar. There's other ways of getting to parts. You can just drag down parts from the top here and go straight to Smart Search UPG products. This is really handy because I can just type in that serial number. And what this is going to do, this is really great if you got somebody at the counter. It's going to pull up all of your critical warranty information, a real quick description of what the unit is. If you need to go further, you can click into View Product Tracking to see who, if the unit's been registered, if there's any claims against the unit, that sort of thing. But what we're going to do today is we're going to go to View Product List in Smart Search. And again, we're getting to the same place. If you want to drop down parts, go to Smart Search UPG products. That's completely fine. The nice thing about this is it keeps your serial number so you don't have to retype it in. And it gives us all this information ready to go to the parts list. So this is just a ResPack unit. I'm going to show you a couple different things about when we're looking up parts real quick. I don't want to get too in the weeds here because I do want to complete an actual order for you, start to finish. So the first thing, this is just a PDF version of the list of parts. I'm actually going to order this board, but I'm going to click into the part. And one of the things you really want to make sure that you know when you're placing your warranty order is if the part is in stock. And the beauty of it is you're going to know when you're placing the order if the part is in stock or not. So this tells us, and depending upon your accesses, this tells us that there are 357 available. So I feel pretty good about that. If I didn't feel good about that, I could always pick up the phone and call Source One to confirm that amount. If it was probably 10 or less, I probably would pick up the phone and call just to verify that they did have those in stock. But this is a pretty clean item that I wanted to show you. The status is active and we do have stock. So I'm just, depending again upon your accesses, I'm going to add to the cart right from the application. This gives me a confirmation pop-up saying it's been added to the cart, and you can see that my cart widget or icon is updated with that part. So I'm going to go back to the parts list and I'm going to show you a different part. Get back to the main one. I'm going to go to refrigeration system. And I'm going to look at this coil. So I'm just clicking on everything blue is hyperlinked. So it's real easy to view the information and details about the part. So here we go. This status temporary block makes you feel a little uneasy, but don't worry. And it's showing 0 stock. So temporary block really just means that the part is still active, but if there is any stock available of that part, it's being held back specifically for warranty orders. So if this is something you need, we're going to add it to the cart. And then once we complete our order, we're going to call Source One and we're going to verify that, yes, they do have some set aside for warranties that they can assign to our order, or no, they don't, which then we would need to take a different step. So I've added it to my cart. And from here, you can just go to View Cart to begin the checkout process. But let me show you 2 other ways that you can order through Solution Navigator. So I'm actually going to copy this part number because let's pretend like I don't have access to order directly from here. I'm clicking the icon to go back to the main page. And I'm going to use that search bar again, and I'm just going to paste. You can also type in that part number. Now, if you remember when we looked at it through Smart Search UPG products, it told us it was on temporary block. It told us there wasn't any stock available. If I click into this, the two kind of talk to each other. But if you want to get a real good sense of what's available, I would defer to Smart Search UPG products. This does give us an alert that there's probably not, an available quantity and that we do need to call customer support. From here, from this page, I can click Add to Cart. And it gives us a little pop-up saying it's been added to the cart. And you can also add it to the cart from the previous page too. But again, when looking at warranty parts, you definitely want to check the stock on it because that kind of lets you know what actions you need to take next.
Quick question for you. Then
You got it.
when you just like there, it said, "Hey, call customer support."
Yes.
How do you do that? Is it right there? Is there a number? Do you have to know the number? And what is does it take a voicemail then? All that good stuff. How's that work?
Great question. So I'm going to put it in the chat for you all. I will also put it on the email in my recap email with the recording and everything. Customer service is 800-536-6112, option 1. Yeah, so that's who you're going to call. Let me go back to the main page, show you the last way to add a part to the cart. And the last way is actually from this main page, depending upon how you have your settings and how your screen looks. Well, there we go. Go down here. We're going to find the quick order widget. If you don't have that on your page, you can just go to this customized layout. It lets you add what you want to that main page, kind of arrange them the way that you like. But I'm going to go down to quick order. I'm going to drop this down to source 1 if it's not already defaulted to that. Pop in my number. I've already looked. I know that there's not stock on this one, but I've done my part. I've kind of checked up on this part. I know kind of, what I need to do. I'm going to add it to my cart. This is the quickest way, and this is a great way to order things that maybe aren't for warranty. And there's our confirmation that the part was added to the cart, and you can see each time the little icon's updating. So we've added parts to the cart. Now let's get into completing the order. Are there any questions on adding the part to the cart? Okay. And if you don't have a cart icon or you don't have access, let your RAM or me know and we can get you that access because you may go through this and go, oh my gosh, I don't have access. We can get you access to do this. So here's my cart. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select these three things, and I'm going to scroll down, and I want to take them off my order for now. So now it's updated with my part. First thing, we know that this board is in stock. We feel good, warm, and fuzzy about it. I'm going to slide this over to the right. The first critical thing you need to make sure that you include when placing a warranty parts order is the shipping method. What you want to select here when I drop this down, hopefully you can see that, is Hotshot. So we want Hotshot. We're going to leave this requested delivery date blank because Hotshot's going to tell them everything that we want. So Hotshot. Why would Hotshot be any different than regular ground, you might ask? Well, what Hotshot is going to do is it's actually going to ship it ground, but it's going to ship it same day. So a normal ground order would typically wait about 2 or 3 days before it would ship out ground. This is going to go the same day, provided you order before 4 o'clock Central Standard Time and the part is in stock. So we've got our first critical thing. We've selected Hotshot shipping, and we're going to continue checkout. And it won't let you check out if you have anything missing. So it would be nice if everything would fit in that one screen without having to slide over. But for the shipping method, you'll have to slide over. So here's my contact information. I'm just going to continue through that. That should auto-populate. Again, important that you are using your own login in Solution Navigator. I'm going to leave the freight terms as they are. This is the second critical thing, is under shipping notes, serial number of unit goes here. So when you select Hotshot shipping and you put in the serial number in that box, it actually alerts Source One that this is a Hotshot warranty order. Here's the serial number to the unit, and then they can process it and ship it out as requested. If you leave the serial number out, it will just say Hotshot, and they won't know, what it goes to or anything. Putting in that serial number not only helps it ship out, but it also helps for tracking purposes and that sort of thing. So that's the other critical thing, is this in the shipping notes. I think it's the third page of the checkout process. We want to make sure that our serial number of the unit is entered in here. I'm going to agree. I'm not going to click anything else. Thank you to Douglasville Winair for letting me use your account. Down here at the bottom, order notifications. If you wish to receive order notifications or any changes to the order, you can select those options there. But I'm going to continue. Oh, I guess I got to put in my information, huh? Let's do same as billing. What did I forget? Oh. All right, now we've got our required information. I'm going to hit continue. Hopefully it'll take it this time. I do want to use the selected address. That just kind of makes things jive with USPS and all that good stuff. So no thanks. So here we are, order summary. We've got our shipping notes. We've selected Hotshot shipping. We can see that here. If we need to change anything, this is kind of our last effort to do that. I'm going to hit continue. And now we're at the purchase order number, test PO for office hours, and any additional information you want to put here, you are welcome to. And now I'm going to place my order. Now, what happens after I place my order? I know that this part is in stock. If you've correctly ordered Hotshot shipping, included your serial number, the part's in stock, you ordered before 4 p.m., Your order will ship out same day ground. And I don't need to do that. So what this does immediately gives us a confirmation on the screen with all of the information we put in with the part, what we paid for it, how we want it shipped, all that good stuff. Let me 1 second here. Are there any questions on that before I go back?
Robin, why don't you address the freight charge? Because we get a lot of questions about that. Some think, hey, it's an in-warranty part. Why do I
Right.
get charged? And then some will ask, hey, customer wants to know what's the freight charge going to be?
Sure. Sure. We cannot give you a freight quote because we would be wrong all the time. So there will be freight charged, and it just depends on what you're ordering. If you're ordering, something like a motor, it's probably going to be a lot different than a coil. So just be sure to factor in freight when you're putting together your warranty order for your customer. Did that answer your question, Dave?
Kind of. It's
Okay.
like I'm just curious, what do some people use to give a quote on freight? Because I do know contractors are asking that. It's like, well, what is it going to be? Rather than saying, well, I don't know.
You can go to UPS and it gives you all the dimensions and weight of whatever you're ordering. And you can, it's coming from Wichita, Kansas. You can put in that information and kind of get a ballpark idea. That's probably better than nothing. Um, and Shane, I see you're on, but LTL, is that what, 150 now? I hate to, because I know I'm wrong, but
I'd make a comment, Robin. A lot of contractors that are utilizing Field Edge or Service Titan or whatever, type of platform that they're using, when they do warranty work, okay, so the part being in warranty, but the labor's not. And so, they will typically, they'll have a flat rate charge for that. And so it would include, freight and labor and all that kind of stuff. But, if they're not on a flat rate system, they could, a contractor could just maybe have a flat rate for freight, whether it's $50 or whatever it is, and it'll probably work out over time. And most of them aren't really organized enough to, include the exact freight and then bill the customer and stuff. So hopefully that makes sense.
yeah, no, that's great information. Yeah. So I've placed my order. I know that this part is in stock. I've followed all the guidelines. It should ship out today. But what else happens? You get an email, and I'm waiting for it to come through. So I'm going to pull up a different one. But about, I don't know, 5 minutes after you place your order, I'll pull this over here. Hopefully you can see that. Basically, you get this almost cryptic looking email, but it gives you an order acknowledgement for your order. So you click into that, gives you a good, nice PDF of the order confirmation. And then about 5 minutes after that, it sends this email. Which is another confirmation. This is your navigator confirmation number. If you're calling in, that's a good reference number along with your PO number. It gives you all of the information, gives you a link to go to order history where you can kind of track the progress of that order. So that's what happens after you place an order that it is in stock. But what about that coil that we ordered that we know it says 0, it's on temporary block, we don't feel real good about it? We're going to pick up the phone, we're going to call Source One. Source One, I need to know, do you have any of this part being held back for warranties? I've placed PO, test PO. I need to know. Either they will say yes, and at that time you can give them your PO number. They can assign that stock that's being held back to your order. Or they may look and say, oh my gosh, we don't have that coil and we're not getting it until August 2nd. Source One has 3 days to fulfill your warranty order. And if I'm looking at the calendar, August 2nd is more than 3 days away. So this is why it's really important to find out at the time you're placing the order whether or not you have stock. So we know when we're placing this order, we know right now that we don't have this part available. It's not going to be available. So we've placed our order. We know that this coil is not available. Thank you, Source One Parts. At this point, you are welcome to request a warranty voucher. Some instructions may say that you need to wait 3 days. You don't need to wait 3 days. You don't need to wait 3 hours. You know when you're placing that order that that coil is not available. It's not going to be available. So the way to request a warranty voucher, and I'm not going to get too deep into this, I'm just going to show you real high level. You're just going to go down to resources. It's very easy. JCI Connect. And we're looking for a warranty voucher. You may also know it as an SI. We're in JCI Connect now. I'm going to look for the warranty tile. So I'm going to click into warranty and it's right here. Request a warranty voucher. What's really great about this is it asks you all of the critical information right up front. So it eliminates a lot of the back and forth that you would get if you were to just send an email. You want to make sure that, of course, you put in the required fields along with, I would put your PO in here in the requested remedy, just so that they have that as well, and that you are requesting a warranty voucher. They will email you back a lot like the same way that the order acknowledgement and the order summary, you will get an email back with a case number. You'll have all that information. Let's see. So they will let you know, yes, you have a warranty voucher, or maybe they say use this instead. So not only is a warranty voucher maybe towards credit of a new unit, but it might be a recommendation or suggestion to use something else. However it is, they're going to provide that to you. So if you receive a warranty voucher and you no longer need the part, unfortunately, it's not an automatic cancellation. So you will need to pick up the phone and call Source One again to cancel. I would really discourage against sending an email for that or for stock, just so you don't have to wait and that you can get the information immediately so you can get immediate answers to take immediate action. So in a perfect world, placing your order in this manner will alert the system, it'll go through, the appropriate departments will take action and advise accordingly. Unfortunately, a lot of those steps don't happen sometimes. That's why I wanted to get on here and kind of give you the information on what you need to include and what you need to do to place orders so that you can kind of be in charge and steer the boat here. I cannot stress enough that if you're unsure in any way, to please call Source One customer service. It's imperative. Again, you want to know right away. You don't want to wait for a response back. You know, your customer doesn't either. Are there any questions on completing the order? I can place another one if we want.
Robin, question when you state, okay, hey, part's not available, you've got your SI, need to call Source One.
Yes.
So when you say call, I'm going
Yes.
to assume there's a voicemail then. That's because you're not going to get somebody
You
human
should get
all the time.
somebody.
You should. Okay, I
You
didn't know
should.
that. Okay.
Yeah,
Can you leave a
absolutely.
voicemail and reference the PO number and what you want to do?
I don't
And
think
is
they
that
have
good enough?
voicemail.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah,
Honestly,
that's what
no,
I didn't
you
know.
should
Okay.
get somebody every time. And if you don't, please let us know, because yeah, you shouldn't be leaving a message. Again, you're calling to get an immediate response. Go for it, Wayne. I love it. He says, let's try calling now and see if they answer. Go for it. So, yeah, you should get somebody. Again, this is something critical that you need to know right away, so that you know what next steps to take. Ooh, very good question. How do you request an RGA for misorder parts? Nothing wrong with it, just don't need it. I'm actually going to be doing a session on that as well. So we'll go through all the steps on how to request a return authorization for wrong parts, misordered parts, too many. What happens if I didn't get what I ordered? Kind of that sort of information. So, but on warranty parts orders, is there anything that I can cover again or answer or clarify?
A question for you, Robin. I've just when you went through your examples, you picked a control board
I
that I
did.
noticed, and it said warranty return, and it was a bright red yes. What do they have to do for that?
To
What's it? I'm assuming that's telling you that yes, you have to return that bad control board.
no,
No,
nope.
even though it said yes on there.
I
Okay.
don't think you would need to return. No.
Okay.
Oh, Wayne says he's on hold and number 7 in the queue. Okay. So there's no voicemail, but you do go into a queue. So that's good to know. And again, if you have trouble getting through or there's a voicemail, let us know. Let me know. And we can definitely help you with that. Any other questions? Do you want me to go through another one? Okay, I'm gonna go through another one. So this time, I think I still have my coil. Yep. I'm gonna order my coil this time. I'm gonna put it just in the main search box. It's a great tool. You could put in words, vendor part numbers, model numbers, serial numbers. It's very intuitive and it learns from everything that we put in it. So I encourage you to use that as much as possible. So right from this screen, I can add to cart. Before I clicked into it and then added to cart, but I can do it right from here. There's my confirmation pop-up. So I'm just going to go to the icon here to start the checkout process. And again, make sure that you are in under your account. Okay, so it's given us kind of a heads up. Hey, what you want may not be available. So the expected shipping date is based on the in-stock quantity at the time of query. Okay, well, we need to place an order for it. So I'm still going to scroll over. I'm going to drop this down to Hotshot. I've got what I need there. And I'm going to check out. When you go to request a warranty voucher, one of the first things they're going to look for is an order for that part. They need to see that there's actual demand for the part and that there's something actually wrong before they just issue a warranty voucher. So it is important that you place the order and you can always cancel it. There's my contact information. Why on my products or by serial number smart search, I cannot see the old-fashioned parts list. Document is no longer there. Greg, are you talking about just like a flat parts list or are you talking about like a PDF document that you can look at? PDF for all sizes on one. Okay. Yes, that is a great document and I will go over to that as soon as I finish this order. So there's my second critical piece of information. My serial number goes in there. I do agree. I'm gonna make sure I put in all my information. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Yes. Okay, here's our summary, basically what we ordered, how we ordered it, that we put our serial number in there. I'm gonna continue. Payment options. Test PO number 2. I'm gonna place my order. And there's my confirmation. And again, you'll get an email with the order acknowledgement. And then a little bit later, you'll get another email from Solution Navigator with this information on it. For emails sent to source 1, what is the expected response time? I believe their standard is 4 hours to respond. Of course, that can be more or less just depending on how many people they have working and how many cases are in the queue. But I do believe it's definitely same day, if not 4 hours. So I'm gonna go back to Smart Search UPG products, and I just dropped down parts and clicked on the application itself, which is just going to open up the box for me. It kind of remembers what I did last. I'm going to put this serial number in again. Anything that's up here is going to be hyperlinked. And what Greg was asking about is the documents. Sometimes, as much as I would love for every single unit to have a PDF breakdown of the parts, they just don't have it. But the thing about this is what you can do is you can actually export this to PDF. It won't be for the whole product family. It'll be just for that serial number, but that actually benefits you in the long run anyway. Serial is king. It's going to give you the most accurate parts list. I get it that sometimes you don't have a serial number and that you need to use a model. That's okay too. Just know that sometimes the parts that are shown are going to be for the model family. So all those parts may not fit on the one unit that you're looking at, but that it kind of encompasses the whole family when it puts out the parts list. So let me see if I can pull up. That's a PDF list. And what you can also do is change that over to a flat parts list, which you can export to Excel, which is handy. And this is not going to give me one either. Let me try a different size. Ah, here we go. Okay, so this is a furnace. I'm gonna go to documents. This is what Greg was talking about. The TM9E. These are really handy. You can save them, print them, you can email them. But again, this encompasses a whole product family. So when you're looking at parts, you know, like especially this ECM blower motor, you see that the part number is different. Well, maybe it's not, but it is for the first 2 models. So the part numbers may be different model to model, depending. Some of them may be the same, but it's just really important if you have a PDF like this to make sure that you have the right model when you're looking at parts. And you want to double check the part numbers because again, some of these lists may be dated, so part numbers may have superseded. You'll know that when you go back to here. If it says obsolete, that's how you're going to know that that's not a good part number. It should have the supersedes lit up. You can click into that and it'll give you kind of a hierarchy of parts associated with that part. And then the active one is usually at the top. One other thing, we've got time. Let's say we wanted to create our own stock, recommended to stock list. Let's say you carry TM9Es. We could put in TM9E. And I'm going to go to suggested to stock. That's lit up for me. Here I can choose whatever models I want. You can do this with full systems. Any valid model number will work. I'm actually going to do just a couple to show you quickly here. I'm going to add those to the review, and it just adds it to this box down below. There's 3 ways to run a recommended to stock parts list. Smart Search data is going to give you all of the information that Smart Search UPG products is going to give you, and that's including down to the nuts and bolts. So, you know, if you don't need the gaskets and you don't need those nuts and bolts, the good thing is there's a column that kind of lets you know, gives you an indicator whether that part is considered a recommended to stock part. If you want to run it by model, it kind of condenses it down and gives you only those parts that are considered recommended to stock by model. And then by material will give you the same information, only those parts recommended to stock, but by material. So it's handy to have. You can see, hey, that control board that I needed, it goes to all of my TM9Es or it goes to all of my air conditioners, and it's just one part number. So that it's handy for things like that. Any other questions? Wayne, have you gotten through? Oh, he hung up. Okay. Great question. Is there a list of the most common warranty parts? There's actually not. There is a list out there, and you probably saw it in the checkout process where if you order certain parts certain times of the year and you want them air freighted, there will be an extra $75 charge because those are considered fast moving parts. So they could be considered common warranty parts. It's a good idea, you know, especially capacitors and things like that, to maybe have a few of those on hand. But there's not. The best and most accurate common warranty parts is going to be to run the suggested to stock on whatever you carry. Same applies to ductless parts. Ductless parts is actually easier. Let me see if on the ductless side, we just learned about this last week. Products. We go ductless and VRF. It's really nice because each unit on the ductless side has a PDF of parts with all of them. See if I can find it. And there's our parts list. Exploded. Parts list. And again, you can print this, save this, gives you all the information. I know that we are getting ductless turned on for everybody so that you have the same capabilities and functionality as you do on the ducted side. But these are your parts. Or I guess that's the unit. Here's your parts. And it lets you know what the unit requires. Question, what does blocked mean under status? So if it's on a temporary block, it still is an active part number. It just means if they have any stock available, they're holding it to the side specifically for warranties. So, you know, that's so a big stock order doesn't come in and take them all. They know that it's a critical warranty part and they're kind of holding it back. Of course, don't forget to use DL prefix on quick order. For ductless parts, yes. Yes, very good tip. So these are all DL and then the number. Any other questions? If you get in here and again, things aren't looking bright or you don't have access to something, let us know. Oftentimes it's just in permissions or access setting that we can quickly address and get that fixed for you so you can be on your way. Any other questions? If you think of some later, you know where to find me. I will send a recap email with the recording of this along with the contact information for Source One. Be persistent, and again, if you don't get through or something isn't right, please let us know. If we don't know, we don't know to fix it. But hopefully, this gave you some more information on placing warranty parts orders through Solution Navigator and kind of what you need to make that a successful venture. If you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I'll give you 15 minutes back.